Australia has so much to thank America for. The Golden Arches, a never-ending parade of Kardashians, and Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, not to mention enormous SUVs. And the German Big Three have obliged with the Audi Q7, the Mercedes-Benz GLS, and now BMW has joined the party with this car, the 7-seat, and yes, humongous, X7. Heck, it's even built in good old South Carolina. Remember, you can read my full written review at carsguide.com.au. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit subscribe so you can stay on top of all our latest videos. As its name implies, the X7 is the 7 Series of BMW's SUV lineup, and its proportions are suitably limo-like. It's 23 centimetres, which is this much longer than the already substantial X5. Not to mention taller and lengthier in the critical wheelbase measurement. In fact, the distance between this car's axles is also greater than its Audi and Mercedes-Benz competition. There are 2 models in the launch lineup, the stonking M50D at around $170,000 before on-road costs, and the car we're focusing on here, the xDrive 30D, at a slightly more approachable circa $120k price tag. But for another $15,000 odd, our test example is the Design Pure Excellence version, featuring a heap of extra tech and luxury features. You're never going to mistake it for anything other than a BMW. The biggest application so far of the brand's signature kidney grille puts me in mind of a certain carrot-loving bunny. It takes some getting used to, but it's also important from an efficiency point of view with active flaps, managing airflow through to the engine or closing to help improve aerodynamics. These slim headlights are optional lasers in place of the standard adaptive LEDs. And these rims are once again optional 22s in place of the standard 20-inch rims. It certainly has presence, partly due to its sheer scale. But the surfaces are tightly wrapped and attention to design detail is obvious. There's a strong key line that runs across the shoulder here from front to rear, and a swage line that draws the midsection in, which combined with this signature Hofmeister kink at the back of the glass area, ties this car visually to BMW's past and present. The rear end is neatly composed with these subtle chrome accents, slim LED taillights, and dual exhausts, enhancing the premium look and feel. Under the bonnet sits a 3-litre inline 6-cylinder turbo diesel producing close to 200 kilowatts of power and more than 600 newton meters of torque. There's plenty of pulling power and drive goes to all 4 wheels via an 8-speed automatic transmission. But whether it's an airline seat, a hotel room, or top-shelf SUV, spaciousness equals luxury, right? So let's take a look inside. Yes, this is proper, front-of-the-plane 5-star comfort for 7. The interior is awash with primo leather wood trim and brushed metal highlights. The front seats are heated and electronically adjustable in every conceivable aspect. There's 4-zone climate control with active carbon filter and solar fogging sensors, a 3-part panorama sunroof, velour floor mats, and 10-speaker hi-fi audio, even heated and cooled cup holders in the front, as well as connectivity options all over the cabin, including 7 USB ports Type A and C, Apple CarPlay, and wireless mobile device charging. Highlight in the front are these 2 12.3-inch screens. This one primarily for instruments and driving data. This one over here for multimedia, vehicle setup, and a whole bunch of other stuff. They're both configurable and some functions are able to swap between the two. They're amazing. There's also heaps of space for cups, bottles, keys, all the other stuff you might have, but really it's the next row back where the wide open spaces really start to open up. So the first clue to how much space there is in this second row is the length of these rear doors. They are big, and once you're inside, you realise that this is pretty much the best seat in the house. Touches like these Alcantara trimmed outer headrests just reek of luxury. Ventilation stack in the centre here gives rear seat passengers the ability to dial temperature up and down. USB ports everywhere, a 12-volt outlet, so everyone can stay powered up and happy. As well as that, fold down, you've got some more storage, a nicely lined little bin here, and a flip-out pair of cup holders. There are bottle holders in the door as well. They'll just fit in here. It's more a cup holder. I think that's evidence of the fact, but plenty of space. However, even the people in the way back seat behind us have got it pretty good. Getting into this third row is pretty straightforward thanks to this easy folding second row. And once you're back here, you are far from forgotten. I'm 183 centimetres tall and I've got just enough leg room to be comfortable, lots of headroom, and things like separate ventilation. There's climate control buttons up here. Airbags, so that's not forgotten either. You've also got an armrest, cup holder, USB port. It's pretty good. I quite like it.
But seating for 7 is fine. What if you need to carry all their stuff as well?
The rear door opens remotely, of course, and even with 7 seats in place, there's a decent amount of luggage space on offer.
More with the third row folded. The air suspension even allows for ride height adjustment of 40mm to help with loading heavy or awkward things. And with all seats down, there's enough room for a cheeky 9 holes of indoor golf.
And as is usually the case, with size comes weight. And this car weighs in at about 2.4 tonnes. Yet BMW claims it'll accelerate from 0 to 100 km/h in about 7 seconds, which is pretty impressive. And this turbo diesel engine produces plenty of torque, and it's available low down. The peak is there from 2000 to 2500 RPM, and whenever you want it, you can go. So no surprise, ride quality is quite incredible. You've got double wishbones at the front and multi-links at the rear working in concert with an adaptive air suspension setup, and you really do feel as though you're just floating along. But it's not as if it's wallowy or unwieldy in any way. The car still feels well buttoned down. It's just able to deal with imperfections so beautifully. It's a tremendously comfortable car. The electromechanically assisted steering doesn't exactly provide a sports car link between you and the road. The feel isn't really there, but given it's all-wheel drive, the natural bias or the default setting for the torque is going to the rear, and you can actually feel that in terms of the setup. It feels balanced and dynamically pretty good for a car of this size and weight. There may be a turbo diesel engine under that bonnet, but noise levels are impressively low. And despite this car's size, visibility over both shoulders is pretty good. As well as that, in typical BMW fashion, the ergonomics are excellent. Everything's where it should be. It's an easy car to drive. And these front sports seats, adjustable in so many ways, are just brilliant.
A full rundown of the X7's active and passive safety tech would need a video all of its own, but suffice it to say there's a full complement on board. Everything from AEB and the latest driver assistance aids to 8 airbags and an automatic back-to-base emergency call function.
In terms of fuel economy, BMW claims 6.8 litres per 100 kilometres for the combined cycle, and over about 300 k's worth of city, suburban and freeway k's during the past week. We haven't been able to match that. We got around 9.3 litres per 100, so it's a miss, but not an horrendous one, and I think that's pretty good economy for a car of this scale. The BMW X7 xDrive 30D doesn't hold back in terms of its ample proportions, luxurious spec and prodigious performance. Platinum level comfort beautifully executed in a full-size 7-seat SUV. Thank you, Murica. You take care now. If you want to know more, you can read the full review at carsguide.com.au. And if you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit subscribe.